For your business, what is the target customer experiencing? What are their problems? I'm creating mystery. I'm creating curiosity. I'm addressing problems that my target customer or client is having. Just with talking about it, I'm now trying to just get them curious enough to take the next step. What's up, wealth builders? Today, for the first time ever, I'm going to be talking about how I've built all of my marketing and sales funnels. If you have no idea what a funnel is, I'm going to break that down. If you should wonder why and listen to the rest of this, well, my funnels have made me millions and millions of dollars, actually tens of millions of dollars for my businesses. So we've kind of figured out how to get traffic, how to funnel it all the way into revenue. And I'm also going to tell you some things you need to avoid because there's a lot of mistakes I've made along the way that have cost me millions of dollars and they've taken years to learn. And I mean, heck, by the end of this podcast, you might already know them all and be able to use them for your business to start making money right now. All right. So let's jump right into it. First off, what is a funnel? First time I ever heard of this was from a guy named Russell Brunson. He owns a company called ClickFunnels, which many of you listening may have heard of. And I went to his funnel hacking live event back in 2018. And that was the first time I ever really understood the concept of funnels and how powerful they are. Basically, in Funnel Hacking Live, there's all these digital marketers, guys who sell things on the internet, could be e-commerce, could be coaching, could be education, anything, right? And they basically set up these systems where there would be an ad, there would be some kind of landing page, and then somebody would buy a product from you. And you think, man, if you get a funnel squared away, it's just like making money on autopilot. Like you're literally printing money with a lot of these like cheaper products, right? So the first time I ever tried this was in 2018 when I created Future Flipper. And in 2018, I created my first course. And I'm like, oh, if I just set up a funnel, then I'll be able to just print money with my course. Like I run some ads with it. It makes money every day. I don't have to do any fulfillment or anything. They just buy the course. That's great. Well, they sell you the dream, and it's a lot harder than the dream makes it seem. I did not sell really any courses with this funnel. I think, in fact, I sold one course running my funnel that somebody bought organically through the funnel where I didn't talk to them or anything. And yeah, it made me realize like, man, either this funnel stuff doesn't work or my course sucks or I just am not doing it properly. It's one of those three things. And I knew my course didn't suck. I'm like, my course is good. So which one is it? Well, as time went on for years, I kind of ignored funnels and I didn't worry about them. I'm like, look, I don't even want to be in this digital marketing game. I would rather just flip houses and make my money that way. Well, 2020, I started getting some influence with social media and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff. And, I was starting to get a lot of traffic, right? People are watching my videos and they're saying, man, okay, I want to learn more about house flipping. Well, I need to go to Future Flipper, right? I was letting people know I had a coaching program, but the funnel at which to get them to convert into a student was lacking, right? Because I could just, and this is what most businesses do, by the way. So for those of you listening, my guess is this is what you do. Somebody hears about your product or service, aka let's just use Future Flipper, for example. And, they hear about it. They then go to the website, futureflipper.com, and you hope they buy your thing on the website. You don't really have a step-by-step process on the website. It's just like, hey, either you could buy it directly here right now, or, hey, you can book a call with our team and, we might be able to close you. And you will get people who buy that way if, your marketing is that good and people really believe in your product and stuff. But the vast majority of people, remember this in marketing, have no idea who you are. Okay. Always assume that. If you're trying to get more customers and grow your business, like instinctually, you have to get people who don't know who you are yet. You got to assume the people who have already bought from you know who you are, and people who know who you are, like, have already decided whether or not they want to buy from you. How do you go get new people who have no idea who you are? So I think that's the number one rule of funnels is just assume no one knows who you are. And I've said that like 6 times because I want to get it in your head. No one knows who you are. Remember that. Okay. Now, think about why it didn't work for me initially. Well, I didn't really have a funnel. I'm just like expecting people to go on my website and buy my course with no explanation of how they should buy it. There's no copywriting, AKA persuasive kind of writing to get somebody to take an action, right? This is also the first time I heard about copywriting too. They're talking about this at Funnel Hacking Live. They're like, okay, then you need to get copywriting and get good at copywriting and write copy. And I'm like, what the heck are they talking about here? This copywriting, like, is it like the trademark stuff? Like you've got a copyright on it? And it's like, later I learned, oh, copywriting is simply just persuasive writing, to get somebody to take action to buy your stuff. And, I essentially became very good at copywriting, not only just writing it, but also, as my email marketer tells me, I've gotten good at speaking copywriting. The way that I speak on my videos, the way I make reels and ads is copywriting, but I'm doing it, live, right now. If I'm trying to persuade you to get to you to do something, it's a form of copywriting, whether it's actually writing it out or not. So I've kind of gotten good at persuasively speaking to get people to take an action I want them to take, right? And the action I want you to take in this podcast is like, just do these funnels. Like I don't have anything to sell you from this. Like I want you to just make money and do these funnels. And if it gives you a lot of value, then, subscribe and comment. Like that's all I want. Okay. Now let's get into, like, you understand my background with it, right? When I was first starting. Now, today, let me actually just give you the end game of what's happened. My funnels do over $1 million a month across my businesses. And the framework at which I've built my funnels is very similar across all of them. Now, the thing that I'll explain with my framework is I sell high ticket stuff. So, I always go for a sales call versus like having somebody directly buy, but the same principles will apply here. And I just want you to know, I went from having literally no funnels up until like 2021. 2021, the beginning of that was the first year I started to really understand, hey, how do I build out a legitimate funnel? How do I run ads? How do I push my organic traffic to these funnels to, then get a sale? And if you follow me on Instagram, you might see me do these funnels where I will just say, hey, DM me the word whatever, right? DM me the word flip. And if you DM me that word, you can go try it out right now for yourself, just for fun. If you DM me that word, it's going to give you an auto response right away, which is now starting the first step of the funnel. Okay. So let's break it down step by step how a funnel works. Okay. So step one is the marketing. Okay. You are trying to get in front of somebody and tell them about your company, your product, your service, right? You're trying to get them interested in what you're doing. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff I can do with marketing. And if you guys want me to do a podcast on marketing, let me know in the comments and I could talk all day about all the different ways to market. I think that in just very few years, I've become very good at marketing. And not to toot my own horn, but like statistically, one of the best in the world at marketing when it comes to social media, when it comes to, running ads and copy. And like, I understand marketing probably better than most people. So basically you're going to have to create an ad to get somebody to take an action. What is the action you're trying to get them to take? That is the first step you got to think about, right? Because when I see people make ads, they don't really think about the step they're trying to get them to take. They just think like, oh, well, I'll tell people about my stuff. Wrong. That is the worst ad ever. Okay. The mistake I see people make with ads is they do way too much explaining and they're trying to sell on the ad. And they're basically just telling them everything they need to know right then and there versus having them take the next step. Because here's the thing. If I was to just tell you everything you needed to know in the ad, I'm not going to get a chance to actually get on a sales call with you and actually sell you and handle objections and everything else. So really, the point of the ad is to grab their attention, get them curious enough to take step 2 of the funnel. To give you an example, since we're talking about Future Flipper, or actually, let's talk about my newest company, Content Empire. Okay, so Content Empire, we help entrepreneurs, build their personal brands and turn their views into dollars. So this is very applicable. If I was going to run an ad for Content Empire, I wouldn't just go out there and do the ad and say, hey, Did you know that influence is super important and you should do it because it can make you millions of dollars? And, here's what we teach at Content Empire. First step is this. Second step is this. Third step is this, and then in this week we cover this, and this week we cover this. And by the way, we have these days where you can submit your content. We'll analyze it. We'll pick it apart and help you grow. And, you see, I'm explaining the product. That is the wrong way to do an ad. Okay. The right way to sell Content Empire would be this. Okay. I would start just bringing up a problem that entrepreneurs are having. I would talk nothing about Content Empire. I'd say, hey, are you struggling to get leads for your business? Are your paid ads costing you a bunch of money now and you're not getting a return? Well, what if I could tell you that there's a method that's going to get you higher quality leads that are going to convert at 3 times the rate? They're going to actually cost you no money. Would that be interesting to you? If you want to learn more about this, click the link below. Okay, right there. I've never mentioned anything about Content Empire. I've simply addressed this problem that entrepreneurs are having, right? They're paying too much for paid ads. They're not working. The leads suck. They cost too much money, right? Like, how do I, give them an answer to a problem they're having? And this is what you have to think about ads is like, for your business, what is the target customer experiencing? What are their problems? With Future Flipper, obviously we're in a recession. And so I might do ads saying like, hey, are you struggling to figure out what to do during this recession? Are you sitting on all these properties that, aren't selling? Are you seeing, whatever, right? Well, we found a new way to get deals that nobody is talking about. And this is going to be the biggest opportunity you've ever seen during this recession that no one is taking advantage of. If you want to learn more, click the link below. So you see, once again, I'm creating mystery. I'm creating curiosity. I'm creating, I'm addressing problems that my target customer or client is having. Okay. And just with talking about it, I'm now trying to just get them curious enough to take the next step. That is the whole point of the ad. I am not trying to explain the product, the company's history, what we sell, what the price is, anything. I just want to get people curious enough to go to step 2. Okay. So don't make that mistake in your marketing. And this marketing, by the way, okay, can be anything. It can be, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, could be an Instagram reel, could be your Instagram story. Like whatever marketing you do, think about this. Problem, call it out, offer a solution, but don't tell them exactly what the solution is. Okay. Now that they go to step 2, okay, we're getting them to click somewhere. Okay. The thing that we're getting them to click to is what's called a landing page. Okay. Now, a landing page, I don't even know how it gets the name landing page, but you're landing on this page. All right. This page has to be very, very strong. People are so focused on the ads, but if the landing page sucks, you're going to lose half the traffic you drive there, right? Like this is the point of Content Empire as well. It's like, all right, we want to teach you how to get a lot of views organically on social media, building your personal brand. That's great. Well, what if you got 1 million views, but you sent them to an inefficient page, right? If I had an efficient page, maybe I'm going to convert 3 times higher than you would with an inefficient page, right? For selling the same products. So it's important that this page is very direct in what it is you want them to do. So if you go through my funnel, as I said, you could just DM me the word flip right now on Instagram and copy my funnel. I don't give a crap. Like I want to see you guys make money. Okay. So basically it's going to take you to a landing page with what's called a VSL. Okay. A VSL stands for Video Sales Letter. Now, VSLs could be a number of things. They're called other things like webinar or case study. But at the end of the day, I just call them all VSLs. But, I might frame it and say, hey, watch the free case study. Hey, I've got a cool training that I want to show you, right? Real quick, if you haven't heard, my book, The Wealthy Way, is coming out December 13th. I have been working on this book for years and I'm super excited about it, and I wanna have a massive launch and I need your help. So here's what we are going to do. You can actually pre-order the book on Amazon right now on the Kindle version. And the best part is that Kindle version is only gonna be 99 cents. Now this book is a lot more valuable than 99 cents, but I wanna get it in everyone's hands. So you can support by ordering it there right now. Now on December 13th, you can get access to the paperback, you can get access to the Audible and all that good stuff. But that's not all we're doing. If you want to really support and leave a review for the book, I'm actually going to be giving away a free course that I created called Business Builder Academy. This is teaching everyone how to start a business from start to scratch, how to figure out your branding, your products, sales, marketing, everything that I've done to start up all of my businesses. I've put into this academy, and I'm gonna give it to you completely free as long as you leave a review on Amazon. So think about it. You can go buy the book for $1, leave a review, and get a course worth thousands. So if you want to support and you wanna get access to that, go to wealthywaybook.com, okay? wealthywaybook.com. You'll be able to go pre-order it. You'll be able to submit proof of your review, and you're gonna get access to that course. So I appreciate all you guys. Let's have a huge launch for this book and change some lives. So depending on the circumstance, the length of this video is going to vary, okay? I mean, I've seen people successfully have videos for, 2 minutes. I've seen people do 2 hours. Like, it really depends. If somebody is in my DMs and I'm going to send them a video, do you think they're going to watch a 2-hour video from my DMs? No, they're not going to do that, right? Like, they got to go sit down and schedule this if they're going to watch a 2-hour video. Will they watch a 2-minute video? Yeah, they will. Will they watch a 15-minute video? I think for me, that's kind of the cutoff. I have found the sweet spot in running what's, we call in the industry a mini VSL. This is like a 10 to 15-minute video. It's short enough in that somebody will go watch it. It's the same length of a YouTube video in many cases, right? So people don't have any problem watching a 10 to 15-minute YouTube video. So if you can help them understand it's a very valuable video to watch, especially if you have good organic content like I do, where, they're like, yeah, I mean, he's not going to waste my time. He makes good content. So I assume I'm going to learn quite a bit from this video. They'll be willing to watch a 10 to 15-minute video. Now, if no one knows who you are, you have no credibility, nothing, and you're going to take them through this entire process, well, you might need to make an hour-long video. The best webinar people in the world that I know all advocate for a way longer video. They love like 1 to 2 hour, even 3-hour webinars, because they know if somebody watches some for 3 hours, they're probably buying it, but most of these big, long webinars are live. And so they're interacting with the audience, and, it's a little bit different versus like an automated funnel like I'm talking about. So for me, just for me, selling high ticket programs, right? The stuff I sell is usually $5,000 to $10,000 minimum. Okay. So, you want to get taxed with us, it's going to be $5,000 minimum. You want to get coaching, it's going to be $10,000 minimum. Like, that's what our stuff costs, because we can demand that kind of value with our track record and, what kind of value we're willing to give. Like, if I could help you go build your personal brand and, help you get millions of views, how much is that worth to you? Worth way more than $10,000 for an entrepreneur. You'll make way more. It's not even close, right? If I can help you get one real estate deal that makes you $30,000, right? That's worth way more than the coaching. And that's just one deal, right? So, the sales pitch happens. I don't even want to say the sales pitch, but like the pre-qualification and the educating happens during this 10 to 15-minute video. I'm essentially going to tell you all about our company, who I am, my credibility. I'm going to show you testimonials of other people. I'm going to explain a little bit about how we do what we do. But really, what the video is first about is just calling out the problem again, right? Because if they click the video and you did your messaging with your ad, calling out all these problems, and the video doesn't even address the problems, it has nothing to do with the ad, people are clicking out. Like, they are. So you want to just jump straight into it. Like, we don't need any of this stuff of like, all right, thanks for watching. And you're just like kind of slowly getting into it. Like, no, jump right into it. Just like I jumped right into this podcast, jump right into that. So long story short, you are going to start the VSL by calling out these different problems that this customer is going to be experiencing. Hey, guess what? The paid traffic isn't working the way it used to. There's too much competition. Your ads just are inefficient now. Facebook's algorithm's getting worse. Trust me, I get it. I know all these things that's going on, right? And you don't really know what to do because your business isn't getting the leads it was supposed to get. And, other competitors are doing this and you're just kind of trying to figure out what to do next, right? So I'm calling out all these problems and blah, 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 right? And I'm telling them like, look, I get it. Other people are experiencing the same thing. Well, what if I told you that I personally don't have this problem? For me, we make over $1 million a month with, our different companies utilizing this technique I'm about to tell you about. And, I'm just kind of leading into it, like building credibility. It's not to show off or anything. It's just like, I got to keep people engaged and make them understand why they should listen to me, right? And I might just tell them a little more about myself. Like, hey, if you don't know who I am, my name's Ryan Pineda. I own over 500 rental properties. I've gotten over 500 million views on social media. I've done a lot of stuff. You should listen to me, right? That's the gist of it. I don't want to like drag it out forever. I don't need to tell my entire life story. I just want to understand, like help them understand why they should continue to listen to what I have to say. From there, we start now getting into the juice of like, okay, so I was like you. I was trying to figure out how to get more leads for my business. I was trying to figure out all this stuff. And then it was when I realized that, instead of paying the social media platforms for leads, what if I was to just create my own views for free? What if I was to start making content and manipulating the algorithm to my favor? What if I understood the algorithm and now instead of having to go pay for 50,000 views, I could just make a good enough piece of content that gets me 50,000 views and it costs me nothing. And that was what I did. And then I started telling my story of using this method, like I started creating this and that, and then boom, sure enough, I was getting, 1 million views in a day as I kept working at it. And sure enough, those views started going directly to my business and I could see all my leads increasing and I could see that it was turning into revenue and, all this stuff, right? This is all just me explaining this in the VSL. Okay. And then I kind of go into the pitch of like, and, over time, everyone always asked me, hey, Ryan, can you teach me how to do social media? How did you build your personal brand? Yada, yada, yada. And then I say, well, up until this point, I've never done it, but finally I built out the framework for others to follow. And this is what we teach at my company, Content Empire. And, I just go into a little bit about Content Empire of like, hey, if you're an entrepreneur who has a business and you want to build a personal brand and you want to turn your views into dollars, this is what we can do for you. And, I'll briefly talk about the how. Like, we don't want to go deep into the how. Because if I'm going to go try and teach someone how to flip a house, I don't want to go deep into here's everything you need to do to renovate it and film and, all this stuff. Like, I just want to give them like the quick understanding of like, hey, here's what we teach. We go through a 90-day curriculum. It's 3 calls a week. 2 of the calls, we're going to go over all the fundamentals to build your foundation. 1 of the calls, you're going to be able to submit your videos and we're going to evaluate them and you can ask Q&A and get your questions answered and all this stuff. And, that's going to be our program. If you would like to learn more about that program, what I want you to do is book a free call with my team. They'll explain it way more in depth than this video did, see if you're a good fit, yada, 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 right? And then they click the link below, right, to schedule a call. So that's the general concept of my VSLs that I use. There are other types of VSLs. I'm not saying this is the only way to make one. It's just what I have found that works for me that, as I said, literally makes over $1 million a month, okay? So for me, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So we've been doing that for years. Now, once that was step 2, getting them to this landing page, getting them to watch this video. And then it's a very clear step 3. Hey, if you're ready, I want you to book a call with our team, fill out the application below. So now they're filling out the application, they're bought in, They want to learn more. They want to know the price. They want to know maybe some other things. So, your application needs to be pretty thorough. We've gone through the mistakes of just trying to get as many applications and leads as possible. And, we would just do like name and phone number and email. That was it. That's the bare minimum, right? And so our leads were going through the roof. We're like, dang, we're getting so many leads. This is great. Well, the problem was the sales team was getting overwhelmed with just terrible leads. Like people were getting appointments that should never have been talked to because they're broke. They don't have any money or they're not willing to buy coaching. Like you'd be amazed how many people book the call and they're like, oh, I didn't realize this cost money. Like, I don't have any money. I don't want to do that. And you're just like, what did you think happened in a business? Like, does you just go to McDonald's and it's free? Like, I don't understand how, but people do that. So you have to qualify them in the application. So we ask qualification questions like, hey, tell me about your business. How much is your business making? Hey, how much are you willing to invest into, your budget for content, right? Like, because we want to know how much is somebody willing to invest in their budget for content. That in turn will tell us if they're willing to invest in education or not too, right? We ask the same version of it for real estate. Like, hey, how much money do you have to invest into real estate right now? Because we need to know if they're qualified or not. And if someone tells us they have no money, it's not that we can't help them. It's just like, we can't put you in the coaching program. You can watch all the free content. Like in the real estate side, we'll be like, hey, go get here's Ryan's book. Like we'll give it to you for free. You can use that here's some YouTube videos to help you out, but we can't put you in coaching. And so, even if they're not qualified, we will still give them help and things they can do because maybe one day they will be qualified and we can help them get there. We've had a lot of people in Future Flipper who didn't qualify and then we sent them couch flipping videos like, hey, you want to go make enough to afford the coaching program, go start flipping couches and then come back to us. And then they do it. And they're like, dude, thank you for that. Like now I'm really ready. So we always want to give people something to help them out. But we don't want to waste our sales team's time. They only have so much time in the day to take appointments and calls. And so every time that they're not on the phones is bad for business, or if they're wasting time with somebody who's not going to sell, it's not good for business, right? So we want to qualify them during this application process. That's step 3. Now, step 4 of the funnel is what's called a thank you page. Really, this page is to get them hyped up for their call because you wouldn't believe how many people don't show up for their calls. Like they just don't. They sign up an application and then, their calls like tomorrow or the next day and they just don't show up. Right. So that wastes closers' time again, sales guys' time because they're scheduled, but they don't do it. Right. So, really with the thank you page, we want to hype them up for the call. Like, hey, you're making a great step towards becoming a great content creator. Someone from our team is going to be reaching out to you here very shortly, yada, 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 boom. Right. So, what we do now is a setter and closer model. We used to just have like one salesperson, but now it's much easier to do setters and closers because what happens is if somebody fills out an application, we want to have one of our setters, aka somebody who just kind of sets appointments and fact finds and pre-qualifies again, just reach out to them as fast as possible. So if you fill out an app, hopefully, please don't waste my closers' time and salespeople time. But if you did, okay, because you're serious, I would hope they contact you ASAP. Like you fill out that form, you're shocked at how quick you get a call from a setter, right? And this setter is simply there to call you and say, hey, we got your form. Tell me a little bit about why you want to join Content Empire. Like tell me about your business. What do you got going on? Like it's really to build a relationship, right? And honestly see if it's a good fit mutually, right? We don't want to waste time of anybody if, it's not a fit. So they're there to just qualify them and make sure they're good and get them set up. And, assuming that everything's square, they're then going to set an appointment for what we call a closer and as soon as possible, right? We don't want to have time delay, right? If somebody's talking to you right there, heck, if we could talk to them right then and there, we will. But typically it's like the next day or something. So setter calls them, they're now on the closer's calendar for tomorrow, right? Closer's then going to text them and say, hey, looking forward to chatting tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I'll hit you up tomorrow to make sure we're good. They hit them up just to confirm again. They're good. Boom. They get on a sales call. So this is step 5, right? You got the sales call. And, once again, I could talk a whole episode about sales. If you want me to talk about, sales and closing and all this stuff, comment below. I could talk about it. But, this is, you want to book about an hour for this call to really just dig into what this person is going through, why they're reaching out in the first place, how we can help solve their problem, and why, really it makes sense to pay us a lot of money to solve this problem, right? Helping them understand what the problem is costing them, because look, if I tell you it's $10,000 for coaching, for most people, they're like, holy crap, that's a lot of money. Like, that ain't worth it. But if I can help you understand, like, yo, is $10,000 really a lot of money if you end up getting this result? If you can go close one more deal for your business, if you can go impact a ton of lives, if you can, go through the hard work of putting out these videos and save yourself years of having to figure it out on your own, right? Because you don't have us. You're just trying to figure it out. Or maybe you never figure it out at all, because most people don't. That's the reality. Most people never figure out how to create content. Most people never figure out how to create funnels. Like 99.9% of the world will never figure it out, even though they may want to. And it's because they just don't know how. Like, there are very few people in the world who know how to make great content consistently and who are teaching others how to do it. In the entrepreneur niche, the reason I knew Content Empire would crush is because there's no one. I have no competitor in this niche, because nobody has ever created content at the level I'm creating it for entrepreneurs, but is also coaching on it and teaching people how to drive traffic to their business. Okay. There are great entrepreneur content creators. There's a ton of them. I am definitely not the best creator, man. There's guys I look up to like Gary Vee and, Hormozy and Patrick Bet-David, and guys who are my friends, and they're amazing. Okay. But they don't sell coaching on this stuff. They just have other things they're working on that are more important to them, and maybe they don't want to. I'm passionate about this. That's why I'm making this podcast. I like talking about it. Like, if I can help entrepreneurs figure out this content or this funnel thing, all you got to do is then just add something in front of it, the marketing engine, whether that be organic content, whether that be, paid leads, whatever, right? Referrals. You still got to put them through this funnel and this engine to get to revenue. So anyways, a little off topic, but the sales guy's job is to obviously close them. And if they can't, then follow up and figure out how to, get them into the system, right? Once you close them, that's basically the quote unquote end of the funnel and that side. And then it goes to now fulfillment, right? We got to do a good job fulfilling on what we've promised, give them a great experience, not only so that they, get the value that they were hoping for, but so that a few things happen. One, they renew, they continue to, stay in the program. Two, they tell their friends and people about it, and it leads to another sale. Three, we affiliate. So like all of our people at Content Empire can make an affiliate if they refer somebody, so they can make more money now. So if they make good content and people want to know how they make good content because it's out there in the open, they can then just get an affiliate and help their friends. It's just this amazing cycle if we just do a great job on fulfillment and help them go viral. And then, 4, I have lots of companies, right? So if I treat them right in Content Empire, they're likely to go buy other things that I have. They're likely to invest with me. They're likely to, stay in my ecosystem. So it's very important that I do a good job on fulfillment, not just the funnel. And this is what a lot of marketers struggle with, is because they're good at creating funnels and running traffic, but they're not good operators. And so they're constantly having to get new customers, a new product, whatever, because they just cannot fulfill properly. The reason I've been successful is because, we've done a pretty good job of fulfillment across my various companies. And so it gives them trust to go buy from another company. But also, even when things haven't gone right, we've always tried to find ways to make things right. And I'm not a perfect entrepreneur by any means. I've had plenty of failures and setbacks and everything else. But, the The reason you have consistency is because you're willing to kind of get through those struggles and continue on versus some just derail them and, that's the end. So that's basically my funnel framework that I use every day. And yeah, it's super simple. I just explained it to you. I mean, there's a lot of detail that goes into having an effective VSL, making those sales calls more effective. There's a lot of things throughout the process that have to go right for it to work, but the funnel itself is very simple. And if your funnel is dialed in, you get that VSL dialed in, you get your sales team dialed in, it then is just a matter of input. How many leads can you put through the funnel? And then, do you have enough sales team and fulfillment to handle all the extra traffic? And that's kind of what we're going through with Future Flipper now. And even with Content Empires, like we're generating all these leads and, we got enough people right now, but if we want to go generate more leads because we want to get more students, make more money, change more lives, then we're going to have to hire more people, more sales team, more fulfillment, everything else. We're going to have to hire more copywriters to create more ads. I'll personally have to film more ads. Like, that's how you scale a business, right? So, in the end, I'm a big fan of funnels and social media because I think social media is the ultimate top of the funnel. If you can get organic leads, those are always going to be the best leads because they're bought in. Like they chose willingly to watch your content, to submit their information. Like your close rate's going to be significantly higher than somebody who maybe you got from paid traffic who has no idea who you are, right? Those people are harder to close, and rightfully so. But for us, our paid traffic becomes infinitely stronger by having good organic content, because if someone has no idea who I am, okay, they go all of a sudden and watch, okay, so basically what would happen is they go see a YouTube video. They're like, who's this guy with the hair? And they go in the funnel and they're like, okay, this looks pretty cool. Like, I'll try it out, whatever. And, immediately they're going to go do some research on me. Most smart people would, right? You'd be like, is this guy a scam? Like, what's the deal? So they go find my YouTube, they find my Instagram, whatever. And they're like, oh, this guy's actually maybe they watch this podcast. Like, this guy's legit. He knows what he's talking about. I like it. And from there, when they get on the sales call, it's going to be way easier to close because I've done all the proper stuff beforehand with the content, with the marketing. Now, if I don't have organic content, it doesn't mean I can't make money. It's just that we run these ads and they go to do some background stuff. There's not much for them to go off of. And, it's just going to be a harder close, right? So in my opinion, okay, this is kind of a VSL for Content Empire, all right? I think everyone needs Content Empire if you're trying to run funnels like this as an entrepreneur, because I think that having organic content, which was what we teach you how to do, can only amplify this. If your funnel can already make you, 6 figures, maybe even 6 figures a month, oh my gosh, adding organic content to the fold is going to amplify it so much. Like, it's instant money. I don't want to say it's like printing money. Sometimes it feels like that, but it's like a really fine-tuned machine. So yeah, I mean, if any of you guys are interested, go in my Content Empire funnel. You could just go to contentempire.io and, click the case study, and literally you will go through the funnel I just told you about. It'll be like, I don't even know what's about. It'll be like breaking the fourth wall. I think that's what they call it in movies. But yeah, anyways, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, make sure you subscribed and watch these next videos that it's going to recommend you because they're all really good. So I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching all the way through on this podcast. It means a lot to me. I've also done another interview that I think is going to be super helpful for you. So make sure you watch this one now coming up next.